Welcome to Society Moms. I'm your host, Denise Rogers, and today I have for you a very important show on women with self-defense. I was lucky enough to catch up with Bowie's Police Chief, John Nesky. Let's take a look at that interview. I'm Denise Rogers, and I have with me today Police Chief John Nesky. We're going to talk a little bit about the importance of women in self-defense. Police Chief Nesky, thanks for meeting with me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about the programs or the knowledge that Bowie is centered around for women with self-defense and why that topic is so important to women today.
The biggest thing that we do for women's self-defense is what's called our RAD program, it's Rape Regression Defense. We actually have a class starting October 5th and another starting October 7th. It's a 6-week program. It teaches not just the physical side of self-defense, but the mental side. It's very important for women, especially as young as we can get them in. We'll take 13 and up.
Wonderful.
To start to get set those boundaries, start to get the mental fortitude to protect themselves. Because you can teach someone to punch, strike, kick, and do whatever all day long, but if you don't build the mental and emotional aspect of it, it doesn't do you any good. I can know how to punch, but if I don't have the mental attitude to actually do it, it's kind of wasting my time. But the biggest thing that we teach them, again, is how to protect themselves, how to build that confidence. Because a lot of the things that you see happen to women can be avoided if they know how to carry themselves. If they carry themselves in a position of power, position of strength, position of empowerment. And that will keep you out of so many different situations. Just knowing that you've run into people. How do you carry yourself? How do you present yourself to other people? What will you put up with? What will you not? And it's very, especially for women, to set those boundaries and hold on to those boundaries, especially at a young age. Because a lot of people that will attack them, will take advantage of them, will act as a predator towards them. They gauge you. They test the fences. If I can tell an off-color joke, if I can make an inappropriate comment and you don't respond, you don't say that's inappropriate, don't say that to me. If I can take a liberty, physical liberty of touching you on the shoulder, touching you on the back, and you don't set that boundary, I call it testing the fences. If I can start on your back, if I can put my hand lower and lower, it's where are you going to stop me and what can I get away with?
Those boundaries. So women really need to assert themselves with confidence.
Yes.
That's important. And at an early age.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. How long has the RAD program been in existence?
We've been teaching since 2008. We've probably put in over 300 plus students so far. Wow. We've had 4 or 5 students that were so touched and so empowered by the course that they became instructors themselves. Wonderful. And it's one of the things that it's a great program. We see, it's one of the programs that over 6 weeks we can physically see the changes in the student, the way they carry themselves, the confidence they have. Because unfortunately, especially when it comes to physical power, so especially some of the women that were raised in my generation didn't really have a sense or a chance to develop and look at their own physical power. And women have physical power. And one of the things that the RAD system does is the techniques are based upon hip movements. So all the power comes from the hips. Guys, we're all upper body. Women, the strongest muscle grouping is the hips. So everything that we do is hip driven. If we punch, we don't punch with the shoulder, we punch with the hip and we drive through the hip. And just to see that light come on with some of the women, that it's technique, it's not size, it's not strength, it's technique. And if you know the technique and you get the technique down, you can hit with the best of them.
Compared with that confidence, you can pack a pretty good punch. Right,
and the confidence is key, because if you have the confidence, 9 times out of 10, it's going to get you out of the conflict without even having to throw a strike.
Right, and the confidence definitely comes with the technique, knowing the technique, feeling that you've mastered it. Where are the classes taught exactly?
Classes are held at the Ken Hill Center, the old City Hall. There are 6-week classes. One class will be Monday starting October 5th from 6:30 to 9:30. The other class is Wednesday starting on the 7th, 6:30 to 9:30. We run them concurrently so that if you have a conflict and say you're on schedule, you're on class 2, you miss the Monday, you can just go to the Wednesday class and not miss anything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, as far as registration, how would the women register? Is it something that they do online?
You can do it through through the telephone. You can call 301-575-2015. Tell them what class you want to be included on, and they'll register you then. My name is John Nesky. I'm Chief of Police for the City of Bowie. And I'd like to tell you about the RAD classes that we provide for protection of women. These classes are free of charge. They're a 6-week course, and it will teach you everything from striking, when to strike, when not to strike, and different techniques. The importance of this is that we just don't teach you to kick or punch somebody. It's very important to know context. It's very important to build the confidence and the mental and emotional empowerment to be able to strike somebody. If you carry yourself in a certain way, and if you know how to protect your boundaries and establish your boundaries, a lot of times you won't even have to provide any strikes or kicks. This course is a fantastic course. We've been offering it since 2008. We've had people that have been so touched by the course that they become instructors later on. And it's a great course for any women 13 and up. And it really does teach you how to carry yourself well, how to establish those boundaries, and really reveals the physical power that's within everybody.
Thank you for that interview, Police Chief John Nesky. In the studio with me today, I have Master Jason Vernet from Performance Martial Arts here in Bowie, Maryland. Welcome, Master Jason.
Thank you for having me, Denise.
I want to ask, you're a 4-time black belt and you're a master. How long have you been involved in Taekwondo?
I've been doing martial arts since I was 4 years old, actually, at the same school, Performance Martial Arts. I've been involved there. So, you know, it's been a long journey. I've been teaching martial arts for 8 years now. Started being an instructor at 14 years old. I'm 22 now. So, you know, I got about 8 years of instruction under my belt. But it's been, you know, a long journey mentally and physically. And I worked my way up the belt ladder, starting as a small toddler. And here we are today as a 4th Dan black belt.
Wonderful. Well, I want to ask you why you feel that Taekwondo is a good option in self-defense for women, girls, even starting at a young age.
You know, obviously self-defense is important for everybody, but specifically for women, you know, girls and moms and grandmas and all the alike, it's important to be able to be confident in just carrying yourself through everyday life, not necessarily being a 10-time world champion in fighting or being able to smash 100 boards with your fist or your head. It's important just to be able to have confidence in yourself and go anywhere in life, anywhere around the world, and be in any sort of scenario or environment and have that confidence. Specifically with the demonstrations and some of the things we're going to show you today, we try to stay in the practical area and not so much jump spinning kicks and things like that. While that is a big part of Taekwondo and martial arts in general, and I personally enjoy doing it, it's important for self-defense to just be practical and just be as quick as possible, because you want obviously the scenario to be over as fast as you can. You don't want to have to stand and be in a fight for more than 10 seconds, because ideally any sort of fight or any sort of confrontation is really only going to last a couple seconds. And it's important that you know the most effective thing to do in that scenario. That way you can clean your hands of it and be gone.
Now, you're currently implementing a program that will help moms and women with cardio, not just self-defense, but just movement in general, working them along the ways to a healthier aspect of life.
Correct, yeah. We have, you know, currently our program is open to all students, you know, from 4 years old, as I mentioned, all the way up to adults. So we do have that program, but something that I see specifically, especially for the adults and for the moms that are really involved in their kids' lives in the Taekwondo, is they don't necessarily want to move up in the same manner that the kids want. While the kids may be looking, well, not the kids, I should say, the parents are looking for their kids' discipline and sort of a comprehensive kind of program. Some parents just want, hey, I want to get fit. Hey, I want to lose a little bit of weight. Hey, I want to be able to learn how to defend myself and not have to worry about all the tedious things that you would kind of learn as a small student. So we are working on putting together several seminars for cardio and obviously, you know, weight control and just being in shape and being healthy. And then we have some separate seminars for women's self-defense. Again, as I said, you know, practical self-defense, nothing that the common person isn't going to be able to do once they put their mind to it. And then, you know, beyond that, we obviously have the regular program that if you choose to, you can start at the white belt level or the no belt level and work your way up and practice forms and kicks and self-defense and do the whole thing.
Now, you mentioned you can actually start at a child's age, what's the earliest age of programs for kids that you have at Performance Martial Arts?
We start at 3 years old. We start quite early in the Little Dragons program. So we start at 3-year-old, and by the time they're 4, 4.5, they work their way to the main program. And 5 years old, 4.5 is where the main program begins. And from there, it goes all the way up the ladder. I think our oldest student is in their 60s, so it's inspiring to see.
That's great. Now, in the Little Dragons program, what are some of the things, you have moms who are starting off with preschoolers, what are some of the things that they learn? How is that helpful for the preschooler?
Well, for the preschoolers in general, we focus on the very basics of coordination and motor skills and little disciplinary things here and there, but they're still young. So it's mostly coordination and motor skills and learning how to do a kick and learning how to do a basic punch and things like that. We currently have our preschool program, which is launching, and it's allowing the mothers to be present in the Little Dragons classes, and that's going to be every day. So that's going to be something we're launching in the after school year coming up this year for the 2015-26 school year.
Okay. Now, after the preschool or the Little Dragons program, where would the students graduate to?
They would graduate to the evening classes, and that would be starting at the 4.5, 5-year-old level, and they'd have their training 2 times a week and work their way up, eventually getting to about 3 times a week.
Now, you also have a before and after care program.
We do. Yep, the before and after care program, they come to school, we pick them up from their school, and they come back and they have a little snack, they do their homework, and every day they have 1 hour of Taekwondo instruction. And that's basically their whole kind of day is packed into a nice couple of hours of doing homework, socializing with friends, having free time, and doing the Taekwondo. So it's a real comprehensive day that they have each day.
Now, let's say elementary school age around 11, goes into middle school, high school. Are those classes broken up, or are these students of various age working together?
In some aspect, they are working together, but then also in some aspect, we like to separate them just for obvious reasons, maturity levels and learning capabilities. Obviously, a teenager is different from a kid, but we do tend to keep them together in their belt levels, and not only does it sort of help each other to build. For instance, a teenager would be able to help a smaller student, and they develop a relationship and help each other. It's that kind of spirit of camaraderie that really helps them kind of move along. But obviously, we do have separate classes for adults and separate areas for teenagers, so that even though we want to have the students help each other, we don't want them to have to feel like they're being hindered by their, oh, I have to wait for little Billy to test with me. So it's everything is at an individual pace.
Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention is you also work with sparring. Tell us a little bit about that. Do they have to go to a specific belt level before they start sparring, and then what does that consist of?
Yes, we don't start sparring right away. Obviously, you can't walk into the door and learn how to fight. So we start at the white belt, which is generally about anywhere from 2 to 5 months after you begin the program. You start at the no belt level. But sparring is, for Taekwondo, the very, very core of Taekwondo training. And I think most martial arts, obviously, you think fighting is the main thing. But especially Taekwondo, whether it's sport, in competitions in USAT, or if it's just, for training and learning how to defend yourself, it's something that's at the very, very core of especially what we do at PMA, Performance Martial Arts. We have all the protective gear on, and it's in a very safe environment, but it's something that you can take it as far as you want. If you want to just learn how to kick and get your leg up to your waist, okay. But if you want to learn how to do a spinning 360 kick and being able to attack to the head, then that's also something that you'll work your way up to. But sparring is very, very important for our training, for fitness, and just for what we're talking about today, being able to defend yourself.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned protective gear, because we know when mom says sparring, they go, oh my gosh, I get nervous.
Right.
The padding, they're padded in their chests, they have protective headgear, there's mouth gear, their arms are covered, so they're pretty safe when they're actually sparring.
Yes, they've got everything that you just mentioned. There's really no room for injury. And when we do the sparring, obviously we don't start off with extremely advanced techniques. There's no kicking to the head. There's no, obviously, low blows. Obviously, everything is, to the padded areas. As you get up in the belt levels, there will be contact to the head, and you'll learn how to defend against that and how to, evade from that. But, it's very, very safe. Safety is, the most important thing in sparring.
Now, with each belt level, are the students graduating? Are they having belt testing? How does that work?
So the belt levels, again, everything is individual based. We generally run a program where they're testing every month. If you're a student that's ready to test, you'll be testing to the next belt level. If not, you'll just wait until the next month. But generally speaking, each belt level goes around every 3 to 4 months. Sometimes a little bit longer for the higher belt levels as you get closer to the black belt level. But yeah, we test every month, and I think it's really rewarding. The type of program that we have as far as the belt levels. We have 9 belt levels, and having every 3 or 4 months the student be able to move up is very rewarding. They get their certificate, they break their board, they get that new belt. It's just a very rewarding experience, especially for the younger ones as they move up, the ladder of life, the ladder of Taekwondo. So.
And it's an opportunity for family, moms, grandparents, friends to come out, celebrate with them, and encourage them.
Absolutely, yeah. We encourage everyone to come. We always have big turnouts for our testings at the end of every month.
What about your black belt testing? I hear that's a big event.
Yes, we actually just had a black belt testing last week. Black belt testings are very, very intense, and I always recommend people, if you're going to watch something in Taekwondo, at PMA, or wherever, watch the black belt testing, because while it's sort of the same format, you're performing all of your material, and you're fighting, and you're breaking boards, it's just to an nth degree higher. It's a total another level of intensity as far as cardiovascular, as far as strength, as far as board breaking, how many boards you're breaking, what board breaks you're doing, and we do incorporate sparring not just on a one-on-one level, but on a 2-on-1 level, a 3-on-1 level, meaning 3 attackers against 1 student. So it's very, very intense, but even more so than the color belt levels, it's extremely rewarding at the end of the day to know how far you've come and how much blood, sweat, and tears you've put into it.
Well, speaking of which, we're talking about women in self-defense. We have also female instructors at PMA, and we have a multitude of female students at PMA at different belt levels. What's the highest belt level? That's black belt, correct?
The highest belt level is black belt, yep, and they work their way up. It's white, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, red, and then they have a red senior belt before testing for the black belt.
So it's a lengthy process.
It is, yep.
Well, we're going to have a demonstration from you. You brought with you a team to give us some basic knowledge of techniques women can use if they find themselves in trouble. Let's get to that, but we're going to close the show, and we'll go right over.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Denise.
Thanks for tuning in with Society Moms, and we're going to close the show with a basic demonstration from Master Jason Vernet of Performance Martial Arts here in Bowie. Let's take a look at that.
All right, guys, we're back here. Today I have with me Cameron Jennings, one of our fine students who is, as you can see, a white belt and is currently testing for her yellow belt in a couple weeks. And I also have with me today Miss Rowe. She's one of my best instructors here. She actually is a mother herself, which fits today's scenario. She has 3 children at PMA, 2 of whom are black belts, and 1 is a brown belt, her daughter. So today we're going to show you some very basic self-defense techniques, as we mentioned earlier. The idea with these self-defense techniques is to not do anything that's out of the ordinary. Try to stay as practical as possible. Practical meaning, what can the average person, the average female, the average girl be able to defend herself with and not have to do anything that she doesn't know how to do, a jump or a spin or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get started. Ladies, go ahead, face each other. Tree up. And kunye. All right, go ahead, get in ready position. All right, so we're going to start off just going very slow, and then we'll work our way to moving at a pace that's going to be realistic, all right? So the first technique we're going to do, we're going to have Cameron be the attacker. For this defense right here, Cameron is going to be attacking by grabbing the wrist, okay? This is obviously a very common thing, being grabbed in your wrist. So we're going to start off right away. The first thing that Miss Rowe is going to do is she's going to use her palm to strike to the nose area. So go ahead, Miss Rowe. She's striking to the nose. Now you notice how she brings her arm up. This is so that when she does the next move, her hand is going to be prepared. But before we go there, the palm strike to the nose is one of the most potent kind of things, the most effective things that you can do as far as a strike. To stay practical, we're going right up at an upward angle to the nose, and as you can see, that's going to do a lot of damage with the palm of your hand. From right there, she's going to stun the opponent with the palm strike, and she's going to grab on the wrist. She's going to try to both thumbs on her hand, and now she's got good control. If you can't get both thumbs, we have to stay practical. If she can't get this, we'll settle for just grabbing the wrist. But the best situation would be having both thumbs in the back of the hand. From there, she's going to pull Cameron's body all the way to the side and step back to really have her body coming down. If we get her to fall, that's great. If not, she's going to finish with a snap kick, which is just a kick straight up. Go ahead. Just like that to the chest. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it in a fast pace. Okay, so Cameron's going to go ahead and grab. Ready? And cut. Strike to the face, grab, pull down. Hey! Very good. One more time. Go ahead, grab Cameron. Ready? And cut. Hey! Very good. Just like that, okay? The second technique that we're going to do is a hair grab. So Miss Rowe is going to go ahead and grab Cameron's head like that, okay? Obviously, we know that a hair grab would be kind of common more for females, not so much males. But for this one right here, the first thing Cameron's going to do is take control of the situation with her right hand, and she's going to go ahead and grab the wrist. Now from right here, obviously, if Miss Rowe has a fistful of hair, Cameron can't remove the hand from the head, right? We're going to be losing some hair doing that. So the first thing she's going to do, again, to stun the opponent, similar to our first technique, is instead of a face strike, she's going to be doing a kicking to the groin or to the leg, right? Obviously for the males, a kick to the groin is going to be the most effective thing. So if we do the strike to the leg or to the knee, go ahead, we can do that. Then from there, that's going to stun them, and that's going to be able to loosen up this grip. If the opponent is worried about, what just happened, they're not going to be worried about grabbing so much. We're going to capitalize on that moment, and Cameron is going to come across with a stringing motion to the arm. Go ahead, Cameron. And she's going to be pushing her down. Again, if she falls, that's great. If she doesn't, we can finish with a knee strike to the face or to the chest. Go ahead, Cameron. Just like that. Okay, all right, let's do it full pace now. She grabs, kicks, strikes. Hey. Very good. Do it one more time. Very good, just like that. Very strong, okay? The second technique that we're going to be doing is going to be from a rear position. We have a choke and a rear position of being grabbed. So, Miss Rowe, you're going to go ahead and turn around. All right, Cameron is going to be grabbing on the side of the wrist or on the wrist there from a back position. So very similar to the first one that we did, but this one might be a little bit more common if we're talking about females defending themselves. Most of the time attackers are going to be coming in from a back position trying to not see the defender coming. So from here, Cameron is grabbing the wrist. First thing Miss Rowe is going to do, similar to our last one, is either a kick to the groin or a kick to the knee. Go ahead. She's going to turn from there. Now she's got control of the arm. She's going to do what's called a hammer fist, using her fist or her forearm and pushing all the way down. And then she's going to finish with another knee, and she's going to finish with an elbow. Okay? The elbow is a very, go ahead, thank you ladies. The elbow is a very dangerous one. If you're striking to the back of the neck or the spine, obviously you have the ability to completely render them without even being able to walk. So we're going to go ahead and do that one again. So she does kick, she turns, hammer fist, and knees, and elbows. Very good. All right, one more time. Let's do a fast pace. Very good. Okay. And the last one that we're going to do here is from behind, coming across, choking. Again, this could be a very common one. So go ahead, turn around, Cameron. So Miss Rowe is going to have her arm around the neck, and this is going to be right here. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you eliminate the threat of being choked at the ending. So Cameron's going to go ahead and grab. She's going to stomp on the foot. She's going to be in a good horse stance, and she's going to strike with an elbow to the stomach. She's going to step behind, bring her arm up, and palm strike underneath the chin. Just like that, okay? Go ahead and do one more time, fast-paced. Very good. All right. Very good, ladies. Face each other. Tree up. Yep. Kunye. Very good, guys. Hopefully these techniques are going to be able to help you defend yourself, whether it's male or female. These are the most practical techniques that we can do in martial arts to defend ourselves from an attacker. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the self-defense. Again, I'm Master Jason from Performance Martial Arts in Bowie, Maryland. I had Miss Rowe with me and Cameron. We welcome you guys to come join us at PMA anytime for fitness, cardio, and women's self-defense techniques. See you there.